and welcome to Wildflower Will's New Start Monday Knits. I am Louise, if you were just joining me for the first time, and every Monday I come on here live and I chat with you and I let you know what is the winning yarn for this week's cast on. So we'll talk about this in just a minute. We'll let a few people get in here live, grab their knitting, grab a drink, get settled for 45 minutes to an hour of just some chit-chatting all about knitting and yarn. There may be a little talk about dyeing tonight. I have one finish to show you that I forgot to show last week, so I will show that. And I have a couple of projects that are well on their way and one that I had trouble with. Anyways, we'll talk about that and my dyeing. So my whole weekend was interesting. So we'll get to that. So back to New Start Monday Knits yarn. I did some stash diving, you guys. I went and I looked through my stash. The stuff came from behind me. Oh, up top here, at a range of the screen. And I thought, Noro, this might be fun to knit with. So I pulled out these two balls. I've got the dark, and the light. I didn't, because you guys know, right? If you've knit with Noro, they don't have names. They don't have pretty names, you know, like midnight. I was going to say midnight sunset, but that doesn't make much sense, does it? Hi, Jocelyn. Or this could be Tulip Garden or something, right? I don't know. They just give them numbers. I didn't even really look. This is color S7. And the dark one is color S22. So if you have any of those in your stash, this is what I'm talking about. So they are both of the same yarn. They are both the, I'm not sure how you say this, Teo sock yarn. I'll show you the tag. Oh, Midnight's, well, Midnight's, oh, okay. So I'm not that far off. So maybe this could be Midnight Sun then, Jocelyn. So there. I'm just go, hold on for 1 sec. I don't know. Sorry. Okay. Oh, hey, Barb, how are you? Okay, so anyways, sorry, I got distracted here. I'm looking at the screen and I'm thinking it doesn't, I don't know, it looks funny. I'm not sure if it's my lighting or what it is. So anyways, hopefully it is passable on your end. So, Teo sock yarn. This is nice. I have knit this before into shawls because it has a good portion of this is cotton. So it is a little softer for around your neck for those people who are a little, I was going to say delicate, but I don't think that's not right the word, but somebody who doesn't like real rusticy woolly yarns, right? So let's go back to this here. It's 50% cotton, 17 wool, 17 nylon, and 16 silk. So that's why it doesn't feel, I don't think it feels itchy at all. Maybe somebody who really can't wear wool but might find it still a little picky, but silk, nylon, and cotton with a little bit of wool thrown in for good measure. It's nice. Feels really nice. And let's see all the colors in here. So you guys all know, like Noro's famous, right, for their nice long color repeats and just lots and lots of color. Like look, there's a little bit of green, there's some purple, there's this rusty color, there's a bit of yellow in there. There we go, we've got more purple, lots. So the choice was to vote was for dark or for the light. So this is, again, is the same sock yarn, same, yep, everything, cotton, wool, nylon, silk. Feels just as nice as the other one does, but much brighter colors. That's what I want to say. Hey, Susanna. So pinks and yellows and greens. This one really shows up more, I guess because this one is so dark. Midnight Sun. I like the name of that. That's what I would call this one. Oh, look at that. Isn't there? There's pinks in there. different shades. There's the darker pink. Knitting with Noro is just so much fun because you can knit and just all these fun colors start popping up. There was quite a few votes for these yarns, but did you guys realize that Instagram and Facebook were down for most of the day? I think around 11:30 this morning they went down, and when I checked my phone again tonight at 7 o'clock, they were up again. So they must have come up somewhere around maybe 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7 tonight. So it was down for a good portion of the day. So a lot of people probably didn't have time to vote. But thank goodness for the first little bit that it was up this morning. I was checking in the comments and kind of reading the comments, seeing the votes. So it was pretty clear from the get-go which one was going to win. There was a lot of comments there. You know, people had their opinions about these. Some people said bright colors. Go bright colors, because, you know, January, February, it's so dark and cold that you just want to have something to put on that is bright and cheerful. Other people said, nope, the light looks too springy for this time of year. Definitely go dark. So this is where I need my pretend drum roll. And the winner is the dark. Oh yeah, Susanna, you're saying about how things were down. I think, yeah, WhatsApp was down, and then Facebook or Messenger was down too. And you know, it really goes to show you how reliant we are on social media. You know, when you don't expect them to be not working, right? You just want to pull out your phone and, you know, just randomly scroll through Instagram or Facebook, and when it's not there, you're like, what? This can't be. How can I not follow my favorite people on Instagram and see what they've been doing this morning? So anyways, and I noticed, because I thought, but some of the buildings that I work in, the cell reception is really spotty at best. So the first few times when I checked my phone and it said, you know, no internet, or couldn't refresh, or, you know, whatever the error message was, I didn't really even clue in, because I just thought, okay, it's just where I am in the building, and I'll just check it later, right? And I remember at one point I did, look at how long these repeats are. I did actually shut my phone off and restart it, because I thought, well, maybe it's just my phone is wonky. And it wasn't until I got an email, like, look, this colorway is still going and going and going. I got an email from a group that I belong to, and they were starting a challenge today in their Facebook group, and think they were having a panic attack that the group was down. So they sent out a quick email, and it's the subject line is, Facebook is down, please read this. So that's how I knew that it was a bigger problem than just my phone. Look at that. See how long this colorway goes on and on and on. Makes great striping. So anyways, Facebook was down. Everybody's lives probably came to a standstill. So this project is going to be a one skein scarf. Hi to everybody that's popping in here. A one skein scarf. I'm kind of thinking maybe doing a hitchhiker. Oh, Susanna, read your comment. Oh, I saw it scroll by, and you said something about something being down, didn't you? Facebook, Instagram. Oh, Suzanne says she didn't realize that things were down until an hour ago. So you didn't know? See, you probably one of like a million people that didn't know. I'm sure there was probably millions of people were like, what? Yeah, so, oh, did you see the info about the books? Oh, that must be for somebody else. Anyways, yes, so just goes to show you, I guess, how often you actually check social media when it's not there, right? So anyways, Martina Bem is the designer of Hitchhiker. Has anybody else knit a Hitchhiker? The pattern has been around, what, 10 years? I'm pretty sure, something like that. It's fantastic. It works well for a large skein. The skein that she designed the pattern with was 150 grams, and that gives you a nice size scarf. 100 grams works fine because everybody else in the world, you know, has done it with one ball of whatever they have, and it's nice. I like doing it the extra 50 grams because it gives you just a little bit longer, but I'm not sure what the yardage is on here. I swear, every time I go to check the yardage, I always start reading at the wrong end of the ball. Yeah, so this is just 420 meters, so there's not any extra in here. So I will probably go bigger on my needle size just to stretch it a little bit and get a little extra length out of here. But Hitchhiker is lovely. If you guys have not ever knit it, I would highly suggest you do. It's a boomerang shawl, so you start at the point with like 3 or 5 stitches or whatever, and it just goes out and gets bigger until you know, there's my boomerang shape, right? But it has points on the side. I'm sure it's a long skinny boomerang though, and it has points on it. Fantastic. One of the first patterns that I made that I absolutely fell in love with and thought I will knit more of these. Very, very wearable. Oh, hey, Anne's knit several hitchhikers, since it's lots of fun. Yeah, Susanna's done a couple of them. Yes, see, they're great, and I think that says the world about a pattern is if people knit it more than once, you know it's good. So I thought that would be fun because it's a, if I remember correctly, I was going to say it's a fairly easy pattern, but I always have to keep track. I think it's about an 8-row repeat because you're doing these little points and you're doing some increases and then you decrease off and then you start again to make these little points. And I know some people say they can just read their stitches or count their rows. I don't know. I never can. So I just always have a little piece of paper and I just kind of keep track of what row I'm on so I know where to do the decrease. But either way, it's not a big deal. Really fun, easy. I would say it's a knit night pattern, you know, something that you can read the pattern, you can knit and you can talk, and fingers crossed, hopefully not mess it up too much. So this is it. So thanks to everybody who did get a vote snuck in either first thing when the poll went up and just in the last little bit when it opened up again. So this one was probably about 3/4 of the people were voting dark. Most people thought dark for this time of year. So it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to cast this on later tonight. Okay, so Sherry says you can read your stitches, but I always lose focus and end up knitting too much. Well, see, and that's my thing is that, I mean, I can read my stitches too. And the points, right, are going to have, it's garter stitch. So you're going to have so many garter stitch rows and then you're going to decrease. And so I probably could, but then I could also very well see myself, you know, getting so far along, doing a decrease and then doing a few more points and then looking back and realizing the one back here, like the little wedge with the point, is going to be one garter stitch row less than all the others, and then it's going to drive me bonkers because then that's, of course, that's right where your eye goes. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep track of my rows. Then hopefully I won't mess it up. Messing it up. Wait till I get to my shawl, you guys. Talk about messing it up. Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, though, this is my finish. This is my cowl. I think I forgot to show it or bring it up to upstairs here so I could show it to you last week. Remember the hand spun cowl that I started about a month or so ago? Found this yarn at the local to the cottage farmer's market. And the yarn was so pretty. It was just a really thick, thin art yarn spun. Now I'm looking at, oh no, that's okay. I was looking at that little bit of blue right there. And I was like, that just looks like a float sitting across the top. But hi, Amber. but it's not. It's actually knit. But isn't it fun? Just the colors. And so I thought the yarn was really textured, so I thought I would just go with a textured stitch and do seed stitch. My plan initially had been just to do a little bit on the bottom and do a little on the top and then go to stockinette. But I had so much fun just knitting it that I just carried on. And remember, I only had, what, 73 grams or something? And we were debating whether I should use some of that blue alpaca that was in the pool. They were the two yarns going head to head. And we were debating, should I use some of the alpaca, like top and bottom? Will I have enough to knit a cowl? Well, look at this. This is literally, there's my ends. There was a couple places. Yeah, I've got a few ends here. But look at that. This was what I cast off with. I was holding my breath as I was casting off. I cast off in pattern and was getting 3/4 of the way around. And I was like, oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be so close. And my plan was, if I had to run out, I was going to just get a solid like navy or something and cast off the last couple stitches. But I made it with a foot to spare, inches to spare. It was close. But I used every inch of this yarn, and I like how it fits. Amber, I saw pictures of your finished wrap. It looks gorgeous. And you dyed some of that yarn for the Fiber Friends challenge, which is extra fun, makes it extra special. So look at that. Isn't that perfect? I made it, I cast on what I thought was as small a number of stitches as I possibly could. And I try to fix my hair so it looks good. So I could, stretch the yarn out, and I think it turned out fantastic. I like my cowls fairly snug because if I'm going to wear a cowl, it's because I, want to be warm. So I think this fits the bill perfectly. It was nice. It was a fun knit. I like it. I like seed stitch. I know some people don't, but I really do. The other thing that I almost finished, and you guys better hold on to your chair because this is kind of amazing. Well, it would have been even more amazing if I had totally finished it, but I'm close enough that I'm calling this a finish. My Songbird fiber yarn that I got at the Gold House of Yarn pop-up shop. I finished my sock. Look at this. Isn't this perfect? I need to be wearing these. Okay, I'm going to cast on sock number 2. This is sock number 1. All of a sudden I got thinking, man, it is October. Oh no. Okay, hold on. I'm going to read Jocelyn's comment here. So Jocelyn and I, you guys know, we're supposed to, we are supposed to be. We are podcasting together Thursday night. We are supposed to have some finishes. So, what did Jocelyn say? She said, Louise might have, best this month. My sweater needle broke and I needed to order a replacement. Well, we'll see, Jocelyn. Don't lose sleep over worrying about that. Because I'm going to talk to you about my shawl. Anyways, this is all done. This is Cock of the Rock, that snake lizard eating bird that really freaks me out. But it's done. I just have to Kitchener stitch it. That's all I have to do. I tried it on. Fits perfect. So I'm going tonight, after we are done visiting here, I'm going down. I'm going to Kitchener stitch this, and I'm going to cast on sock number 2. And then I'm going to cast this on. And yeah, because I want to wear these. These are supposed to be my fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving socks. Our Thanksgiving is this coming weekend. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm not going to have a sock done, am I? Oh well, in my dreams. Anyways, one sock done. Just have to Kitchener stitch. And Oh, that's right. Jason's birthday is on Thursday. Well, I look forward to singing. Okay, what will I show you next? Okay, last week's New Start Monday cast on. Hi, Beth. So hi to everybody who's popped in here. I've just been yattering on and on. I've seen people pop in and you guys are chatting amongst yourself, which is fantastic. Okay, last week's New Start Monday were the two options were, I can't quite reach it. Maybe no, I can. The green. I had greens and blues. These Karen Pantone, they're more kind of like a hank. They're like a skein, but with those little 20-gram mini balls. The blue beat out the green, and I cast on my hat. And I had plans to get it finished for tonight, and I should have, but my shawl grabbed my attention. And yes, mini skeins. Yeah, they're worsted weight mini skeins. So anyways, I did not get this finished. And part of me, I had this crazy idea last night. I thought, oh, I should stay up really late and like knit and get this done. And then I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna go to bed. And I thought, you know, the whole idea of these Mondays is kind of real life knitting. Some weeks they'll be finished. Well, every once in a while there's a finish, but you know, it's just kind of real life. It's what I have done is what I show, and this is it. So it is pretty. I am liking it. So I'll tell you what I've done. Had 20 grams. There was 5 colors. There is the navy, this peacock blue, the yellow, and then there's 2 shades of kind of this bluey gray, steel gray. And I used a little bit of this peacock blue and did the 2 color long tail cast on, which I'm going to do this week. Though I'll put up another little short video on how to do that because there was a few people said they had never seen it. So I will do a video this week on that. So if you're interested in that, it's super easy and it's fun. I really like how it ties the color in. So the navy is all gone except, I don't even have it in here. Just a little bit left. But this is 20 grams of the navy. So then I went up here for the peacock. I did the first row of the new color is where you do the dip stitch. You knit across, you do a dip, you knit across, you do a dip. And then I did 3 rounds plain knitting of the peacock. Did 4 rounds total. Then I switched because I wanted to save this to do again. And I did my 4 rounds of each of the remaining colors. So now I've got back up here, I'm repeating. So I've done my dip stitch and I've done 3 other rounds. And it worked out, just worked out. I am just ready now to join the gold color and work the gold color around. This is what I have left of the peacock color. So what I'm going to do with all these little bits, I don't even know if there's enough here to do 1 round. Maybe, maybe not. I have a lot of these skeins. Hey Jenny, how are you? Happy Monday. Hope your Monday's going well. And I have a bunch, so I have a whole bunch of these skeins, right? And so I'm going to keep all my odd little bits. And at the end, I'm just going to compile all my little bits from all the different colorways and do one kind of crazy, scrappy kind of hat is my plan. So I'm going to hold on to this, but this worked out perfect. My plan to split the 20 grams, so do 10 grams and 10 grams, worked just barely. And I changed the needle size. Remember, every time I talk about this yarn, I always say the tag says it's a number 5 bulky, but I think they're way off on that. I went down to a 4.5 millimeter or a US 7, which is what you use for a worsted weight. And I like